In this video lecture, we're going to learn how you can open sound files in Praat. The most popular sound format, .wav, can be read by running read from file command under the open menu of Praat objects window. Praat can also read special sound files using read from special sound file command. Lower right figure here, read from special sound file, but most of the time you'll be using this read from file command. Once you read a file, sound file into Praat, an object will be created here in the objects part of the Praat objects window. The format of this object is serial number, which is 10, object type, which is sound, and the object name, consonants 1. Once an object is loaded into Praat, a lot of button commands or menus appear on the right side of the Praat objects window. Let's move on to the next page. When an object is created in Praat objects window, it's automatically selected. By selected, we mean that there's blue bar on top of the object. Okay, and if there's a button in green or blue, not green, blue, it means it's the default button. So for this sound object, you'll be using this button most of the time. Here is a comparison of the Praat objects window before loading any object at all and after you load one sound object here. When there's no object here, no buttons are activated. It's just empty. And these fixed button commands, they're not activated. They're in gray and you cannot press any of these buttons. But when an object is inside the object's pane, then all the button commands are activated. You can click on each of them and the dynamic button commands or menus are activated here. When there's a small arrow, downward arrow is on top of the button, it means that it's a menu. If you click on it, a drop-down menu will appear. Sometimes there is this 3 dots after the name of the button. It means you will have to provide arguments to the command. Okay, so when there is this hyphen or a downward arrow, it means it's a drop-down menu. More menus or commands are inside this button. When there is these dots, it means you have to provide arguments, things that are necessary for that command to run properly. Next page, section 6.3, create sounds in Praat. There are many ways to create sounds in Praat, one of which is to use the command under New Menu and Sound menu, create sound from formula, pure tone. Okay, we're going to talk about this one. Here in the Praat objects window, under the New Menu and Sound menu, there are many commands that you can use to create a sound object. All of these commands have 3 dots, so that means you need to provide some arguments. Okay, each of these menu commands needs some arguments to run properly. Okay, create sound from formula. If you click on this command, a settings window pops up with the title Create Sound from Formula. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arguments. You need to provide them. You can use the default setting, or you can change each of the arguments. You can change the name of the object to be created, signed with noise. You can change the number of channels, 1 for mono and 2 for stereo. You can also change the start time and end time of the object from 0 to 1. So Praat will create a sound object which is 1 second long. You can also change the sampling frequency, 44 kilohertz, 44.1 kilohertz. And finally, the formula. Okay, look at the formula. It's composed of 2 terms. The first term plus and the second term. This part is for creating a periodic part of the sound, and this part is for creating the noise part of the sound object. Random Gauss function. So this command uses the random Gauss function to create a noise, and sine function to create the periodic part. Okay, and inside this, let's make it this bigger. Inside the formula, there's a number 377. This is the hertz value, cycles per second. You can change this to either increase or decrease the frequency of the periodic part of the sound object. Okay, if you press OK, then Praat creates a sound with the name, signed with noise. If you press the View and Edit button, an editor window, a sound editor window pops up. And if you can also press one of these buttons here. These are shortcuts for the commands that are inside the View menu. Okay, all for show all, in for zoom in, out for zoom out, cell for selection, okay, zoom to selection. So if you press the in button, zoom in a couple of times, then the editor window will look like this. As you can see, the sound object has both periodic property and aperiodic property. You can see that many cycles exist in this short segment, visible part, 0.015625 seconds. And also you can see the noise part overlapped on top of the periodic part. Okay. And the frequency is 377 hertz. So it's basically a 377 hertz sine wave with a noise. Okay. This time let's try to modify the sound object. Open the Create Sound from Formula window, and this time change the name to sine 2 hertz. So we're going to create a 2 hertz sine wave. Leave the rest as they are and change the number 377 to 2. Okay, so we're going to create a 2 hertz sine wave and get rid of the noise part. Okay, select this part and delete it. Okay, then we will be creating a periodic sine wave, 2 hertz. Okay, 1 second long. Press OK, and you create a sound. Okay, with this name, a new sound. Press the View and Edit button, and a new sound editor window pops up. As you can see, it's 2 hertz, 2 repetitions, 2 cycles per 1 second. So 2 hertz sine wave without any noise. Okay. You can also use another command, create sound as pure tone. Where was it? Okay. In the Praat objects window, press the new menu, sound menu, and the first command, create sound as pure tone. Okay. Then a settings window, the arguments window pops up. It has many arguments: name, number of channels, start and end time, sampling frequency, tone frequency, amplitude, fade in, fade out, duration. Okay, if you set the tone frequency, which is the cycles per second, to number 2, then you will be creating the same sound object like this one. Okay, so there are more than one ways to create the same sound object in Praat. Okay, so here we learned that we can create a sound object using a mathematical formula. Okay, the next section we learn another way to create a sound object. Is under the new menu, sound menu, and create sound from vowel editor. Okay, going back to the Praat objects window, the command is at the bottom. Create here, the second from the bottom. Create sound from vowel editor. New sound. Create sound from vowel editor. Okay, back to the section. Okay, if you run the command, then you will see a vowel editor window. Okay, let's make it bigger. It's titled vowel editor, and familiar phonetic symbols. Okay, E, U, A. There's a play button, reverse button, publish button, duration, extend, start F0, F0 slope. Okay, this is a very fun place to create a sound object. If you click one of the phonetic symbols, like this one, E, if you click on it, then Praat will create the E vowel, okay, for the duration that you clicked on this symbol. Okay. As the text says here, click slowly any symbol or click and stay for a moment any symbol before releasing it. Then the sound of a synthetic vowel you clicked or clicked for a moment is played back briefly and for the exact moment you held your mouse via the speaker. Okay, so it will create a sound object when you click any symbol, but the object is not created yet. To transfer the sound object just played in Praat Objects window, you need to press the Publish button command at the bottom of the vowel editor window. So after you click a symbol, then Praat will play back the sound object. And to transfer the sound object to the Objects window, Praat Objects window, you need to press the Publish button. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, and if you do that, I don't have the screenshot for that. Anyway, when you press the Publish button, you will see a new sound object in the Praat Objects window. If you click and move your mouse like this one and release it, then Praat will create a sound object that sounds like yeah. Okay, or if you click and drag like this one, Praat will create a sound that sounds like ew. Okay. But if you play with your mouse, it's very hard to draw a straight line because your hand shakes all the time. Okay, so you can play with your mouse, but if you want to create a consistent, an exact straight line from some vowel to another vowel, then you need to confine your movement. You'd want your movement more confined and controlled if it's going to be used in your research. Okay, so in that case, you need to use a command like the new trajectory command. It's under the edit menu. Press the edit menu and there's a new trajectory command, extend trajectory command. Okay, so this is a way to create an exact straight line, okay, in between phonetic symbols. Okay, if you open new trajectory command, an argument setting window pops up. It has 5 arguments: start F0, end F0, start F2, and end F2. Okay, so you can specify the start of the F1s and F2 and end of F1 and F2. Okay, so it will be a very exact, accurate straight line, okay, from a symbol to another. Okay, let's try to create a monophthong. Let's try to create a 1-second R. Okay, F1 value 830 and F2 value 1290. So we're going to enter F1 and F2 values in this argument settings window. Okay, and how about the start and end values? Okay, so the start and end values have to be the same. F1 should be 830 and F2 should be 1290. Okay, start F1 830, end F1 830. Okay, change the numbers. And start F2 1290, end F2 also 1290. And duration is 1 second. And press the apply button. If you press the OK button, this window will be closed. Okay, we were trying some numbers, so we want this window to be opened. So in that case, press the apply button. Apply button is the same as pressing the OK button, but the apply button will keep this window alive. Okay, so we can try other values. So press the apply button and Praat will play the R vowel for 1 second. Okay. And then if you want to create an object, then you need to press the publish button. Okay, here is the numbers. F0, F1 values are the same, 830, and F2 values, start and end, are the same, 1290, 1290, 1 duration, 1 second duration. If you do that, press apply button, there's a there's a change under the R symbol. Okay, there's a small hyphen here. I think it's a small arrowhead. That means a new sound object is created with the value of R. Okay, and at the bottom, you can see that the start values F1 and F2, F0, F1 is 830. Let's make it bigger. F1 is 830, F2 is 1290, F0 140. Okay, it's default. End values F1 830 same, F2 1290 same. So it's a monophthong, R vowel. Okay. You can also change the F0 value, of course. Okay. the default value is 140. Try 240. Okay, and press play to hear it. Okay, it's higher in pitch. Okay, or you can use this field, or you can also use the command set F0 on the edit menu. Same thing. Okay, shortcut is here. Okay, in addition to the F1 and F2, you can also change the F3 or F4 value. You can set the other formats, okay, using the menu command. Okay. You create the R vowel. If you want to create R, E vowel sequence, then you need to connect them, okay, R and E. To do that, you need to use the extend trajectory command. Press the command, and the settings window pops up, and you enter the vowel formats for the E value. F1 280, F2 21, 00. Okay, extra duration 0.01. Okay, this is just for connecting these two vowels, and the duration is so short you cannot hear it. Okay, press the OK button, and then you will see that the R vowel and E vowel they're connected. Okay, and then you need to create a vowel E, okay, which is 1 second long. Okay, so let's try the command extend trajectory. Okay, this time same format values, but duration is 1 second. Okay, press the OK button, then you'll see that there's a change. When these two vowels are just connected without producing any sound, it's a straight line, but when you create the E vowel, then R vowel and the E vowel are connected. R, E. Okay, in that case, there are tick marks, okay, in between the two symbols. Okay, so this way you can continue, you can keep creating, you can keep adding new sounds to the previous sounds. Okay, this time try to create the U vowel with the F1 and F2, 350 and 800. Okay, first you need to create, you need to connect these two with the duration of 0.01, and then try the extend trajectory command again and supply the F1 and F2 values with 1 second duration. Then the whole sound will sound like A, I, U. Okay, so A for 1 second, E for 1 second, and U for 1 second. Okay, in between, among the sounds, just 0.01 second. Okay, a very short duration to connect them all. Okay, keep adding the vowels, and you can create a vowel space like this one. Okay, so in this case, the sound, if you press the play button, it will sound like a, e, u, o, a, something like that. Okay, so rather than using your mouse, you can use the extend new trajectory command, and keep using the extend trajectory command, and keep adding the synthetic vowels like this one. Okay. Okay, that was it for the vowel editor section. I'm going to stop here, and we'll continue talking about another way of creating a sound object in our next video lecture. Okay, see you next time. Bye bye.